Get out those old records, those old phonograph records, the ones we used to play so long ago. What if they sound scratchy? The tunes really were catchy, and especially those that said I love you so. Get out those old
all the ones about
records, those old
all the ones about you,
records, the ones
Kitten
we used to play so long ago.
On the old wind-up Victrola,
What if they sound
Barney Google was great.
The tunes
all the songs
really
about
catchy,
Kate,
the ones we used to play so long ago.
Hello again, guys. This is Gregola Productions here, and welcome to the first episode of my new show, 78quest. What is 78quest, you may ask? Well, it's the show where myself and other members of the Gregola Records Club go hunting for 78s. Not LPs. And again, there'll probably be an LP or two coming in from yours truly. But, yeah, mostly 78s and maybe a few 45s here and there. So earlier I said something about me and the other members of the Gregola Records Club doing this. Well, what do I mean by that? I mean there's going to be different people hosting the show. And it'll all be on this channel as well. But as for the first episode, yours truly is doing it. So let's go to a store I know. It's called Coffee and Antiques. Let's run down there and see what they got. Now they did have a few music sheets there, and to tell you the truth, I don't know anything about these. If you see anything desirable, please say in the comments and maybe we'll go back and get one of these things. That looks like a roll of cardboard if you ask me. That's not a cylinder sleeve or case. It seems like Edison cylinders are quite common around here. There's at least a row of them any place I go. I should also mention that this is the basement of the store. So, yeah, there's lots of furniture and plenty of records, and we're currently approaching that area now. It's kind of a long playing shot that we're going to find anything good today here, viewers. There seems to be a lot of LPs around, but there are some 78s, so we'll look through them and see what we get. And just in case you were curious, here's the rest of the basement. Now, right off the bat here, I found a great one. No one really likes Perry Como much for whatever reason. Well, not to say that, but I don't know. Some people say, oh, you know, throw out all the Perry Como ones. Oh, I could fill a truck full of Guy Lombardo and Perry Como 78s. This one looks incredibly worn, though. And what else we got here? We got Tex Beneke and the Miller Band. So. Lots of 70s things as well. We've got Wayne King here already. We got, what the heck, we got Russ Morgan. He's not bad. What the heck is this? Rosemary Clooney. Good for nothing. Aurora is a Canadian label, which I've never heard of, and apparently there's a lot of great music on it. Deep Purple. I actually had Deep Purple at one point, but I gave it to someone. That's funny. That's a pretty clean looking copy of Deep Purple. One thing you don't see many of is Capitol here, and I've just found two of them. Pee Wee Hunt Como again. I don't really know. Is this cracked? Yeah, it's cracked. Well, let's see on that. Emperor Waltz. One thing that also doesn't come up much around here is MGM. You know, Sammy K is someone I'd actually like to get more into. But by any means, this wasn't a half-bad lot. See, I think what's happening here, viewers, is they keep getting collections in. So this is probably someone's collection, this is probably someone's collection, and this is probably someone's collection. And then it just ends over here, and there's a pile of 78s there. Well, look at those on there. I've just spotted some 12 inches in here. Okay, we just pulled those out of there. Got a Decca sleeve. A nice British Columbia. What's this doing over here? I've never seen these. I've actually never seen one of these around here before. Texas. Beltona. Now, about these Ukrainian 78s, the whole store had a whole bunch of them, and I did get some. And, yeah, I think the store is hucking them out because there used to be more, and I don't know if anyone's buying them, so I think they're just throwing them out. What does one find when they pull that box apart? Find something like Ken Griffin. Find some Roger Whittaker. I just spotted another 78 go flying by. As you can see by that blue label Columbia, I do run into the early teen stuff. And mostly I leave that early 1900s stuff alone because I don't think it sounds good on anything that isn't an acoustic phonograph. As for the 20s and upward, I usually get that. And also, I'm not a fan of that early 1900s music all that much. More London. What's been going on here? I don't know what that's all about. This is from a musical, isn't it? These are musical records. They're from musicals. Here's a little bit of World War II country here. Very interesting. That stuff may or may not be desirable, I don't know. The Patti Page. As common as Patti Page records are, they're either cracked or they're missing a label like that one was. Just for all the ragtime viewers here, we'll have a look at whatever this is. True or false? Is Wolf Carter desirable? Well, to tell you the truth, I don't know, and I keep finding his records around. I'm not really much of a fan. I'm not really a fan of that sort of country, but anyway, apparently everyone else in my area was. A few years ago when I first found out about Mcgregor Records, I ended up getting a few of them, and I found out that they were all square dancing records. So if that's your thing, then get them. Not to say that there haven't been other great artists here, but here's a good one. Nat Shilkret. Always go for him. You can never go wrong with Shilkret. And I just realized something very stupid of me. I left that Melotone right there behind. Oh well, I guess I can go back and get it at some point. Here's something to watch out for, everybody. You know, it's a good looking MGM 78 until you realize something about it. It's true or false, was leaving that Esta record behind a dumb thing to do. I barely gave it a second glance. I don't even know what that label is. As EMG Colonel once said, this is what hunting for records in the wild looks like over here, and you're not getting too terrible. Like, look, there's this Glenn Miller right there. That's not bad. Nothing wrong with that. And of course, there's plenty of top hits of the month record club. Now, that's something I'd like to find more about. There's Dick Robertson. Oh, Johnny O. I've seen this record around this store before. Frankie Charlie. Is it Garland? No, it's Charlie. Frankie Charlie's around here quite a bit. Al Goodman. Well, everybody, we're back, and yeah, I had a pretty good time. What about you? I don't know, maybe that was the most boring thing you've ever watched. Now, we're actually going to do 2 lots of records here. This first one isn't that big. This all came from a thrift store near here. So, let's have a look at this, shall we? We got some 45s. We got the Modern Airs, Tops and Pops on Coral. Tops and Pops, Part 1 and 2. These records are in not bad shape. They weren't terrible. This one's the 4 Aces. And by the way, you get a very good idea of what I'm into. I'm not buying these records to buy and sell them. I'm buying these because of what I like. And this is the 4 Aces Heart on Decca. Nothing particularly rare here, I know. No Robert Johnsons today. 17 by the Fontaine Sisters. Great. This is great. And I should also mention that all of those records will be uploaded on this channel. Along with this. Now, everyone's going to hate me for it because it's Guy Lombardo, and everyone seems to have a vendetta against Guy Lombardo records. But anyway, this is an album of his. I like Guy Lombardo. What can I say? So this is his almost complete Lombardo Land album here from Decca. It's got Boohoo, Time on My Hands. Oh, whoops, I'm reading these in the wrong order. Boohoo, Sailboat in the Moonlight, Dancing in the Dark, Time on My Hands. These are in very nice condition, by the way. I cannot read that at all because it's upside down. And while we're looking here, oh, this is at Dawning. The condition here is, well, maybe it's not as great as I thought, but it plays really well. And because I have a record changer, it's got the side. See, this is side number 7 out of 8 sides. I don't have all 8 sides. Because someone probably smashed them in the 50s or so. Or no, in the late 60s when everyone was stoned out of their minds, but that's a different story. At Dawning. And When the Day is Done, which I think is the best one. Now we've got another spot here for another record. So yeah, and the back of this has this Decca texture on the back, which matches, where's that sleeve? It matches this sleeve, which I conveniently have on hand. So yeah, this is what I got from a thrift store for $12. That's not too bad. Not too bad, if you ask me. Yeah, well, unless you don't like Guy Lombardo or 50s pop, then that's probably the worst thing you've ever seen in your entire life. Now, as for what I got from today's little adventure. So anyway, that was a while ago, but as for today's lot, I paid, what the heck did I pay for this for? $11. I got this for $11. So I'm not, you know, spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on this. Not yet, anyway. What have we got here? Oh, everyone recognizes this. Don't let the stars get in your eyes. It's a great song, a little bit worn, but I did play this, and it doesn't sound too bad. So, you know, I like this. So I've got Perry Como and Guy Lombardo on the first episode of 78quest. Yeah, I'll take your comments in about that one. Because I know everyone loves those two artists. Doggie in the Window by Patti Page. I found this in the pile. And a funny thing about this, there's a bit of an error going on here. Have a look at that, viewers. The Mercury label is pressed to the left a bit, so that's wonderful. Anyway, that plays good too. In good condition. This is all in good condition so far. Patti Page, again, changing partners, and I don't get around much anymore. On quality, now there's a bit of a interesting thing I'd like to note here between all the Patti Page ones. This is made by Mercury Records Canada. This is made by Quality Records Canada. Notice there's a bit of a font difference between this. I don't know if anyone cares. I think we're beyond people caring about this stuff at this point. But yes, Quality and Mercury differentiated between fonts just a little bit. And I have proof of that because now that's my second copy of Doggie in the Window. I guess I'm going to have to trade it with someone. Anyways, the K-Star came home too. You Were Only Fooling and A Faded Summer Love. This thing almost has a crack. Not really a crack. Is that a scratch or a crack? This is only on one side, viewers, so I don't know. It's in great shape, unlike some of the Glenn Miller and other records that were there. There were some records in very poor shape over at Coffee and Antiques that time. And speaking of records that were in poor shape, I went to your wedding, and hold on a minute. We seem to be missing something. We can't compare fonts here, viewers. How sad is that? No, this is I went to your wedding, and this side is actually great. It plays well. I don't know what happened to the label, but anyway. This is, what the heck's it called? You Belong to Me, I think. Yeah, it's You Belong to Me. Yeah, and Joe Stafford did a very good cover of that. I think that was a hit. I don't think this was a hit. I think this was, Patti copying Joe Stafford. To tell you the truth, viewers, they all sound, those female vocalists, those certain ones, Patti Page, Joe Stafford, and all those guys, they all sound the same. They all sound the same if you ask me. But anyway, and now here comes some of the more interesting things. Now, this is Top Hits of the Month records. Now, I've been kind of following this a little bit around around my area, and what I can gather from Top Hits of the Month, there seems to be very little information on them. They did make it onto Discogs, but there's not a heck of a lot from them here. And let's see what this is. They've got different. Let's have a look at these aren't matrix numbers. The serial numbers. Do they have matrix numbers? I would think so. MO35B. That's the matrix on this. And okay, well, they have the same. Okay, they just put it in the dead wax as well. Yeah, from what I can gather from Top Hits of the Month, these were in UK. Oh my goodness, these were in the UK and Canada, and you could order these. You'd have to get a subscription to Top Hits of the Month, and they'd send you something monthly. Now, these are vinyl 78s from the 1950s. They've got 3 songs on each side. And, yeah, this is their Western Hit Parade version. I've got a black one here. I'll just bring it up on screen for a reference in a second because I have it on hand. But, yeah, these are very interesting, and they have no one seems to really talk about Top Hits of the Month. I don't know if anyone even knows they exist. Now, there was another order label here, and, yeah, I got 3 of them. There was another ordering label there, and it was called Western Records. I don't know if you saw that. I might have put that in the intro. I don't know. I don't know if I put that on the intro or if I actually had film of that now. I don't know anymore. And this one was pressed kind of wonky too. Look at that. Except we're going to the right this time. What is this? So whoever... You can tell what year this is from because of the song title, the Top Hits of the Month. All you have to do, I would think, is go onto Billboard magazine, the Billboard magazine archives or whatever, or just find out some website where they have the top hits for each year or each month. I don't know. I would think it's possible to find out when these, what year these are. I should also mention that these are, you know, just generic, like the Cameo Westerners and the Cameo Westerners again. And let's see what the other one. Oh, it's the Cameo Dance Orchestra this time on that bottom one. Very generic names. No one's getting credited at all, leaving this a complete mystery. Now, since I have it on hand here, this I did not get, but here's another one of these top hits of the month. I think this is the pop one. Popular Hit Parade. So whatever year this is, you can find out whatever year. Unfortunately, Rock Right is completely destroyed. There's Rock Right there. Keeping the theme of the 3 songs per side, this also does that. This one's even lighter. I think this one's later. I think this actually might be more shellac and mixed with vinyl, and I think this is just straight vinyl, because this is like a piece of plastic here. But anyway, while I was at it, I got another one of these. It's not top hits of the month, but this time it's Sapphire. It's made of vinyl still. This time it has 2 sides instead of 3, or two songs per side instead of 3. I think this is a completely different company. I mean, I'd think it would be. And I should also mention that these are micro-grooved records. These are not the coarse grooves. The 78s, or what are 78 grooves called? Are they coarse grooves? I don't know. No, Hill and Dale grooves are Edison diamond discs. Anyway, it doesn't matter. These are micro-grooved. So make sure you're using a micro-groove stylus if you have any of these. And the way to tell, and we'll give you a tip here while we're at it. The way to tell between a micro groove and a coarse groove record, here's an early Columbia that's cracked. Video on that coming up here at some point on Cracked Records. And I've got an LP here. Micro grooved. You kind of rub and just so everyone knows what this is, you rub your thumb or finger or whatever, you can tell the difference. This has, you know, you can feel the difference between the groove. I'm going to grab a bit of a later one. That one's I don't know. We're going to grab the later one because I can't feel the difference right now. There we go. Here's a more defined difference. Columbia and Columbia. The grooves look different and they feel different. And yeah, same here. And these look like micro grooves to me. Of course, and they feel like micro grooves because micro grooves almost feel completely flat. Because that's how small they are. Anyway, that's my micro groove versus coarse groove tip. So yeah, this here was $11. So I don't think I did too terrible this time. So as you can see, viewers, I'm not really getting anything particularly rare on these exploits. In fact, most people wouldn't really like what I'm getting. But anyway, that's my musical tastes, and whether you like them or not is entirely up to you. But yeah. So viewers, that concludes the first episode of 78quest. And I'll put once I upload, I have to record all of these and upload them. But once I do that, I'll put it in a playlist, and I'll link that playlist in the description. It'll be the complete soundtrack of 78quest, and I'm not going to include the music I've used in the background. So yeah, that playlist won't be done for quite a bit, and I don't know if I'll be including. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll be including all the other members if they decide to do a 78quest, and the stuff they bring back, they'll probably upload it. So I'll put that in the playlist too. So it'll be the complete soundtrack of 78quest. If you're watching this video on the night it came out, or the night that this series came out, then the playlist is going to be completely empty. So I wouldn't even bother checking it. Anyways, viewers, if you'd like to be a member of the GRC, click the link in the description. It'll take you to a Discord server, and Discord, by the way, is completely free. And I have to make I actually have to make a video on Discord here right away. But that, regardless, it's on Discord. If you know what Discord is, that's great. If you don't know, I'll explain it here at some point. But yeah, there's a Discord server in a link in the description. And yeah, that's how you can join the GRC. The GRC, the Gregola Records Club, is on Discord. So yes, viewers, I thank you for tuning into this episode of 78 Quest, and I hope you stick around to see the next one. And yeah, stay tuned for the next record I upload. It could be one of these newcomer records or one of the ones that was already in my collection. Anyways, thank you for tuning in, viewers.